She came in as a fresh-faced kid from Spokane, Washington, transferring from a junior college in the U.S. and over the last 3 years has made an impact in the college ranks north of the border. Here's her story in the first of a two-part series on Amanda Carlton. I actually did want to show you something, so this is a little surprise. Just press play and take a look at it.
Oh my gosh.
Watching Amanda Carlton knock down shot after shot in a workout today shows why Rustlers head coach Chris King has been after this girl for quite some time.
I've talked to Chris, for about 3 years now, and I've built such a good relationship with him. And
your first interview with us. Were you like nervous or what?
Yeah, I was nervous. I never had an interview before.
Amanda Carlton's 1,200-kilometer journey to Lakeland College to play basketball was a long one. Growing up in Spokane, Washington, Amanda played various sports, but at the age of 12, she made a commitment that changed her life.
That was when I decided I wanted to play college basketball, and I'm going to do everything it takes to get to that. So I don't want my parents to have to pay for education. I want to get a scholarship.
Her drive and focus began at the driveway, working on her skills day in and day out with her father. Your dad mentioned that you have pretty sharp elbows and that you hit them in the driveway. Is that where you got your competitive edge from?
Oh man, yeah. All my most memorable memories, everything is in that basketball court in the alley. My dad was out there a lot. I mean, he was my biggest opponent because he would start pushing and shoving a little bit, and he was like, "You never hurt your dad." I said, "I don't care who you are. Like, I'm gonna play hard." And I said, I usually back down a little bit, like with my elbows, but a couple times, where I couldn't, I didn't think about it, he would just get it right in the face. And so, somebody always came in with a sour attitude and with blood. That's just how it was. My mom was always there to help support the person that came in that lost and got hurt.
Those skills she developed at home made her into a solid athlete, once dubbed by her high school coach as an Adam Morrison-type player, one with a great mindset, a scoring touch, and size. Amanda was an integral part in helping her team finish second in state championships. During her senior year, Amanda still kept her dream alive of playing college ball, sending applications out. But it didn't prepare her for what was coming next.
I remember coming home before a high school game, and I'd gotten this letter, a big old letter package, it was from Canada, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is this?
I met her through a contact of mine at Seattle University. I went down there, got game tape from her and a few other kids that just wasn't good enough for Seattle U at the time, but he knew the type of players that I was recruiting.
After several phone calls and emails, Amanda finally made her decision, much to the dismay of Lakeland Rustlers head coach Chris King. Once you decided to go to North Idaho, were you upset? Were you angry? What was going on in your mind?
For sure I was upset, especially being a young coach at that time. I think every time I lost a recruit, I took it personally. Now I know you can't do that, but Amanda I felt like I had a really good bond with. So I was hurt, and I thought that she could be an impact player for us.
I knew he was pretty upset when I told him no the first time, because I had a really close relationship with him just over the phone, right? Because I talked with him so much. So that was really hard to tell him no. I remember I felt really bad.
But after 2 years and a national championship later, Amanda decided to give Coach King a call. And on March 29, 2011, a new chapter would be written and impact both Amanda and the school.
I want to introduce our newest and our biggest signing this year for the next season, Amanda Carlton. I was very stressed. I think Amanda will be the first one to say it. I think the conversations we had once she got on campus, I was pretty stressed, just worrying about losing her again. Once she committed and signed, I felt very relieved. I
came up here, I knew I had one person like Mariah, because I knew I was going to be good friends with her, and then stayed in contact with her. And then I recruited one of my teammates, Amy, to come up here with me, so it was good.
All right, tomorrow in part 2, we'll get a behind-the-scenes look at Amanda's final home game as a Rustler.
After 2 solid seasons with the green and gold, Amanda Carlton enters her final year with the Rustlers, becoming the first fifth-year player in the program's history. In our second and final part of this series, Moses Boldu takes us behind the scenes of Amanda's final home game of her college career.
The first 4 games of my season, regular season, were kind of like a shock to me. I wasn't pleased with my performance very well, and especially coming from a really, a good preseason. Before one of the games, and I needed to get some food, went to Quiznos, and I remember that game I was like, man, I got back to like my normal self. And so ever since then, I started going to Quiznos. Hello. Can I get the 2 turkey Caesar flatbreads, please? Getting to know people there too, I guess. You know, I go there every Friday, Saturday. Usually it's the same workers and they know what I like. Pretty plain Jane, I don't get no like all these veggies or anything, right? It's just lettuce and plain and simple for me.
Whether you call them routines or superstitions, it all comes down to what gets you focused. Amanda then heads to Coach King's house for a team brunch, a friendly get-together before the game.
You got a bunch of Valentine's Day cards.
Yeah.
You told me you didn't want to, bother looking through them or at least, dwelling on them because they had some emotional quotes from your teammates and your head coach.
Yeah, I remember the one from Chris. It was just talking about the night, He said, enjoy the night, make it what you want it to be. And so that hit me. Hi, Lisa, it's Amanda.
Another Amanda routine is making sure she calls her friends and family. This call in particular has special meaning. Just days before her final home game, Amanda got news about her grandmother.
What was your grandma diagnosed with?
Lung cancer.
Was it the first time as well as the second time?
Yep, the first time was just before Christmas of 2012. And yeah, so she's a non-smoker and it's just a common non-smoker cancer. And so she went through the chemo and everything, and then it came back.
And when you heard the news, what was the emotions running through you?
Well, it was after a practice, and I was kind of waiting for that text message from my mom. And I told my mom, like, just send me a message, like, regardless, so I know. And I didn't get no message, and so I knew, okay, something's up. Hard news to hear, but she's one stubborn lady. I know I get some of my stubbornness from her, but she's a fighter.
Look at them guarding Mandy so hard.
Yeah.
Amanda, you need to kick him. Get him, Mandy. She won't though. She's too good, too nice. Darn.
She's just one wild grandma.
With a heavy heart, it was a friend who came up with an idea to pay tribute to Amanda's grandmother.
And I knew I couldn't do anything with my jersey top or anything, and so the socks it was. It's just something important for me to always know that she's here with me.
Minutes before tip-off, Amanda's parents arrived from Spokane to watch their daughter's final home game. Nerves don't appear to set in, but anxious moments await.
The game started and I just, a lot of self-talk, like just go out there, have fun, and enjoy the game. Don't get frustrated, and just to remember that, this is the last game. Leave it all on the court. There was a couple shifts where I was really gassed. I remember one shift I thought, man, I'm gonna pass out. You're just like, you exert so much energy, and then once it got closer to the end of the game, I just couldn't believe it. Why can't we just have another quarter? That's when all the emotions that I've been holding back throughout the whole game and everything, it just, those last 10 seconds, seeing it on the clock, and then it just that hit hard.
Now after the season, Amanda says she will be an assistant for the Rustlers basketball team. In the meantime, Amanda's future as a player is still ongoing, having plenty to play for as the Rustlers enter provincials as the 6th seed facing the number 3 seed Nate Ooks. Dying seconds of the first, Mariah Van Hoff, who missed the final game of the season to Nate, comes up with the steal and an easy deuce. Rustlers led 14-12 after one. Second quarter tied at 14. Cameo McCurley steps back and nails the long triple. Rustlers up by 3. Moments later, Carlton gets in the action with a 3 of her own. Rustlers up 20-14. The Rustlers would go on a 13-2 run thanks to McCurley's 9 points in the first half to take a 32-20 lead at the break. However, a big fourth quarter from Nate would avoid an upset as the Ooks would go on to take it by a score of 73-66.